What's up, guys? So, it's been about a week since the merchandise from Spider-Man No Way Home was released, including 3 new Lego sets, Funko Pops, and action figures that give us a first look at Spider-Man's new suits. First, we have the integrated suit. Now, this is probably the most controversial suit in the eyes of many fans, and partially for good reasons. I understand the argument of wanting the Spider-Man to get a new suit and stick with it, preferably the red and blue suit, but I think a lot of people need to realize that Disney wants money. They normally make money off of these movies with toy sales, and since Spider-Man is arguably their biggest IP, it's pretty obvious that they're going to add a new suit into each movie. So Peter will most likely get a new suit for each movie no matter what. Now, in my opinion, I kind of like the suit. It's obvious that it resembles his Iron Spider suit, but just with a different color palette, which looks cool to me. And depending on how they use the suit, then I think it'll be fine. Maybe they could do what Insomniac did in Marvel Spider-Man or Spider-Man PS4 and have this be an upgraded suit that Peter uses to have an advantage against his villains, especially since he's most likely going to have to face off against the Sinister Six, judging by how Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx are going to reprise their roles as Doc Ock and Electro in this movie, as well as the movie setting this up since Spider-Man Homecoming in the post-credit scene. And looking at the Funko Pop, it looks like the suit was crafted by Doctor Strange, which will include mystical abilities. Overall, I'm open to the idea of a new suit, but I do prefer him to stick with one suit, and preferably the red and blue suit. Next up, we have the black and gold suit. Like many have speculated, it looks like this suit's going to be some sort of electric-proof suit, so Peter won't be electrocuted when facing off against Electro. I'm sure many have said this, but this suit resembles the Uptime Pride suit from Spider-Man Miles Morales to me. There's not a lot more to go over with this suit other than that, so here's the final suit, which is a tweaked version of Spider-Man's upgraded suit from Far From Home. The main difference between the two suits is that the belt is now lowered to resemble Spider-Man's belt in the comics, and the black strip from the previous movie is now removed. Now, probably the biggest question is how these suits will fit into the movie. Using the Lego set and the promotional images that were released around 3 months ago when the title for No Way Home was released, or should I say countless, I'm guessing that Peter brings Ned and MJ to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and while there, Doctor Strange conjures up a new suit for Peter, and afterwards some sort of scorpion or spider bot attacks the Sanctum Sanctorum. However, it's important to take into account that the majority of Marvel Lego sets, or superhero sets for that matter, are almost and always inaccurate to the actual movie. I mean, I don't know about you, but I loved it when Natasha came back from the dead flying a helicopter in the final battle. But in all seriousness, most Marvel Lego sets based off the movies are usually never accurate, but this set seems way more likely to be accurate. So this is me editing right now, and while trying to find photos for, the countless fake Spider-Man No Way Home titles, I stumbled upon Jacob Batalon's Instagram and saw one of the set photos, and a lot of people said that this is those promotional images were set in the same sanctorum, or at least Peter and his friends seeing Doctor Strange and possibly getting transported into the Sanctum Sanctorum. But looking at this photo right here, it looks way more likely that it might not be the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's just something I want to say. If anyone watching this is like, hey, that's not the Sanctum Sanctorum at all, I'm just going off of a lot of fan theories that kind of seem true. This other set says it's inspired by Spider-Man Homecoming. But looking at the Funko Pop of the black and gold suit, its packaging confirms that Peter will be using this suit in the movie and probably to fight Electro. So the biggest takeaways from all this merchandise is that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man are not a part of the merchandise. This could be for a number of reasons, whether it's because they aren't in the movie at all, or at the very least camera roles that probably will appear maybe at the end of the movie, because Disney is withholding merchandise featuring Tobey and Andrew and possibly Doc Ock and Electro until after the movie comes out, because it will regard spoilers. If this happens to be the case, then it wouldn't be the first time this has happened, such as when Baby Yoda or Grogu merchandise didn't appear on shelves until later that year, or when Avengers Endgame Lego sets were inaccurate for the most part till this summer when Lego released accurate Lego sets that depicted the scenes from the movies. If you watch my previous video, you'll know that I'd rather this movie be a grounded solo film instead of a multiverse movie. But as more and more leaks and rumors and information come out, it seems way more likely that this movie will include Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as major parts of this movie, or to some extent, and I'm okay with that. The majority of these leaks, which are non-spoilery, have said that this movie will focus on Peter's identity crisis, which I'm glad about, since I want this movie to not totally push aside a major plot point like they have for the past two movies. They also say that villains from Tobey and Andrew's movies will be brought into the MCU due to a magic spell gone wrong. Probably because Peter will try to have Doctor Strange make a spell to make everyone forget that he was Spider-Man, but this goes terribly wrong and brings in villains from Andrew and Tobey's universes into the MCU. Now and then he will possibly have to round them up, and possibly Andrew and Tobey will be brought into the MCU to help Peter round them up. Now, if that happens, I'd love that. That'd be cool. I know I haven't really said this, and it makes it seem like I despise Tobey and Andrew being back, coming to reprise their roles as Spider-Man. But in all honesty, I'd love them to come back. I just mainly hope that they don't, push aside a cool and interesting plot for a multiverse, film. And obviously it makes sense as of now with, Loki and WandaVision, that the multiverse is going to be a major focal point, especially since this movie is going to tie in to Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. This movie could tie in by using, villains from, alternate universes like Doc Ock, but it seems way more likely that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will be brought into this universe, especially since, spoilers for all of Loki as of right now, till episode 5, that we found out that there was a multiversal war, which the Time Lord stopped, and possibly at the end of this show, Loki will cause the multiverse to split, causing to different branch realities, and possibly bringing Tobey and Andrew as being canon into this universe. Overall, those are my thoughts on the leaked merchandise and Tobey and Andrew possibly appearing in Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, I want to state that I don't despise the idea of Tobey and Andrew appearing in this movie. In fact, I'd love to see them in this movie. I just hope that this movie concludes Peter's identity being revealed in a way that doesn't seem rushed. And on top of that, I'm not setting my expectations at an all-time high, because even when these rumors, starts appearing and gaining traction, I didn't really, believe that. Obviously, because at the time, all we really knew was that Peter's identity being revealed was a main focal point of the movie, and that possibly Sinister Six was going to form, since they've been teasing that for around 2 movies now. As well as these rumors starting to get out of hand over the past few months, to the point where almost everyone is dead set on Andrew and Tobey appearing, especially whenever there's any piece of evidence that they could appear, such as coincidences, such as that leaked merchandise of Andrew Garfield's TASM 1 suit on a t-shirt, which ended up being a cosplay image. Overall, I can't wait to watch the trailer whenever that comes out, and watch the movie this December. With all these countless rumors, information, and coincidences appearing every day, it's hard to not put into consideration that Tobey and Andrew might appear in this movie. At this point, I'm not exactly sure what to believe. A part of me is still excited to see if these rumors are true that Tobey and Andrew are going to appear in No Way Home, but I'm also in the belief that these rumors and leaks should be taken with a grain of salt, because the trailer could release tomorrow and Tobey and Andrew might not even appear in the trailer or even the movie in that matter. Overall, those are my thoughts on the merchandise release for Spider-Man No Way Home, as well as addressing the fact on whether Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will appear in this movie. And that's all I have for today. See you around.